Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you? I am so happy to be here with you today. I'm bringing you another really fun project. And this whole week I'm using two bundles. I'm using the Flowering Rain Boots and Home and Garden. And they are bundles because they have dies that go with them. And you can get them with their dies. And if you do, you save 10% on the purchase. So it is a great way to bundle and save. So definitely check out the Flowering Rain Boots and the Home and Garden because you are going to love them. All right, so let me move everything out of the way, and then I'm going to showcase the card a little to you and show you what we're using on each piece. So here's the card. So this card says, thanks for helping me grow. And we're going to build this gardening scene right here on our card. This paper in the background is from Tea Boutique. It is a new paper in the new annual catalog. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Let me know if you need a copy of the catalog. I'd be happy to get that to you. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do some ink blending, and that's always fun, right? So let me grab my scrap paper, and I'm going to start with this piece of basic white cardstock that measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. So it is just a piece of basic white cardstock, and let's go ahead and get our blending brushes out. So what we're going to do first is we are going to blend our sky, and then we're going to bring our dirt scene in. So we need those two blending brushes. We're going to use Balmy Blue and Soft Suede for our inks. We'll start with our Balmy Blue. I'm going to move the card out of the way so I don't get ink on it. And let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up color in a circular motion like this from my ink pad. And I'm going to start at the top, and I only want to go part of the way. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to blot off that extra little bit of ink, and then I'm going to come here and I'm going to start making my sky. And like I said, I can go back into my ink pad, pick up some more color, and we're going to add a nice pretty blue sky, and then we're going to add the dirt because we're digging in the dirt today. We are doing some home and garden work. It's outside time. It's time to plant our plants and flowers, and we want them to look amazing, don't we? All right, so I'm going back through. You can see on my paper how you can see how that blue has really grabbed nicely, but I want a really pretty colored sky. So I'm gonna come back one more time, and I'm gonna try and run some down here when we start here. I'm gonna start down here in the center. All right. So there is our sky. Let's move on to our next color. So our next color is going to be our soft suede. And I'm going to open that ink pad, and I'm going to grab another blending brush. We're going to pick up the soft suede. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to blot off. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start bringing my dirt into place onto my card. You can see this one fills a lot faster because it is a darker color. Balmy Blue is much lighter. And you kind of want that haze to form how it's forming there. Now along the bottom, I'm going to make the dirt darker, and near the top, I'm going to have it be a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to keep adding because I want my dirt to be very dark. See how it is here on the card? I can put that off here now that I moved one of the inks out of the way. Okay, so as I add our dirt in, you see how it just gets darker and darker. Okay, so now you can see I have my spade, or my shovel is in the dirt here in this corner. So I have a piece of basic white. It's just a scrap. I just grabbed it out of my scrap pile. I don't know the exact measurements of it. See, it's not even an exact. It's like 1 7/8 by 1 1/4. It's just a piece that I lopped off. It's not even, and that's fine. We're just going to use it to form this little dirt mound right here in the corner. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to tear towards me, and then I'm going to have that look just like that. I'm actually going to tear all the way down because I want that teared look all the way to the edge of the bottom piece. So we'll pull that little bit off. One more piece. All right, so these we can discard, the ripped piece, and this piece I am going to sponge with the same color, so I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to use my blending brush. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do one side at a time so that I have something to hold on to. This is a real small piece, so I have to have something to hang on to. And I'm going to add darker at the bottom, just like I did on that piece, but this is like a mound of dirt, so it's been lifted out of the ground, and so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit darker also on the top, and that torn edge gives you that really pretty like second tone of color. So there is that piece. Okay, so we've done our blending. All right, so now I'm gonna put these off to the side. We don't need our scrap paper anymore. Now we have our tulips, we have our pots, and we have the two tools here. So I'm gonna bring in my spade and my shovel. And I wanted to add, we did some yellow for our tulips. So I wanted to have a little bit of yellow to show through on the handle. So I'm gonna start with Daffodil Delight, and it's the dark. And I'm putting that on the shovel handle and the rod here, and on the spade handle. And then I'm going to use the light smoky slate, and I'm gonna color my shovel and my spade with the light first. All right, let's do the metal part up here. All right, and then I'm gonna darken it with my dark. I'm gonna follow the lines that the artist gave us. Okay, and I'm gonna add a tiny smidge up here. All right, just like that. And then I'm going to take my light soft suede, and I'm gonna do the lines on the shovel and on the spade so that you have a little bit of highlighting. And then what I'm gonna do is bring my paper back in, and I'm gonna grab my brush. I'm not gonna add any color to it, but I am going to put some dirt on this shovel. You see how I added that? And I'm gonna do the same thing on the spade because it's in the dirt. So I'm gonna add a little dirt right there. Okay? All right, so we'll set those to the side. We're not ready to glue those on yet. And then we're gonna bring our silicone mat back in because we're actually going to assemble. I have my two pots here. They're already die cut. And when you do your tulips, it's a large tulip grouping. So I didn't need but one section of it. So I'm gonna use my paper snips here. I'm gonna separate the tulips. So there they are. And I'm gonna take, and these are the ones that are going, and these two are going away. We don't need those. So I'm just gonna follow the lines here and separate those tulips. And I will also alter it right here in this section, okay? So we don't need those. So we're gonna glue those together first. So I'm gonna first put a line of glue at the bottom of these tulips. And then we're gonna attach it to the pot. Just like that. And then I'm gonna put a dab of adhesive on each of these parts up here where our tulips are gonna live. And then we're going to attach our tulips to our stems. All right, we're starting to get it to come together. You see how cute that is? All right, we're also going to stamp on this circle from the Layering Circles with Mossy Meadow. We're going to stamp Thanks for Helping Me Grow. But before I do that, let's grab our Balmy Blue back out. And I want that circle, just like it is here, to match our sky. So I'm going to pick up some color. I'm going to bring my circle back. And I'm going to start on this end. And I'm going to do one end at a time. I'm going to add my blue. And let's add some on this side. Let's add a little bit more. Add that pretty blue. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and stamp Thanks for Helping Me Grow. Let me bring it down so I can see what I'm doing. Right into that circle. Looks awesome. All right, so we have that part. Let's go ahead and attach our scene background onto the piece of Cajun Craze. Now this piece is 4.5 by 3 3/8. So I'm going to go ahead and run some seal adhesive. Just like that. See, there's our little scene. This is going to be lifted up, but our main card piece is a piece of crushed curry. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's been scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. I'm going to put my points together. I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to score that nicely. And then this piece of the DSP from the Tea Boutique is the same size as the front. So it's 5.5 by 4 1/4, and it covers the whole front. So you can't tell that it is a crushed curry piece. You can see the back is really pretty too, this green and white stripe. But we are going to use the floral. So we're going to add that over the top of our card. Looking good. All right, so this piece, we want to attach this right there in the center, but we're going to build our scene first, and then we're going to attach it. So let's just put this piece to the side. Let's go ahead and start building our scene. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to attach our little mound of dirt in the corner. So I'm going to use some dimensionals, and I'm only going to put them at the bottom. I want to leave some room for the shovel to fit right in there. I'm going to grab a mini. I'm going to put a mini at the bottom, and then I'm going to put another mini in this corner right here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull the backs off. And we're going to flip that around, and we're going to glue it into this corner right here. So it just looks like a mound of dirt, and we want it to line up on the two sides, just like that. That'll look great. Now comes our shovel. This is what's going to go right in here like this, okay? So let's add a little more dirt on our shovel. Let's bring this back. I need it a little higher. There we go. All right, and so our shovel is also going to be lifted up. So we're going to put one here. And then I like to keep these ends of my dimensional pieces here. And I like to use them when I'm doing skinny pieces like this. So I just cut 3 little skinny strips. I'm going to put one there and one here. And then I'm going to put one at the top of my spade here, on my top of my handle. All right, so let's pull the backs off of these guys, and then we will be ready to attach our shovel into, did that one come off? Nope, I didn't get that one off. Let's see if I can get it now. There we go. All right, so let's tuck our shovel under this mound of dirt here. We don't want it too deep because we definitely want it to show. So there's our shovel in the dirt, just kind of sitting there waiting because we're now doing our potting, right? So let's go ahead and attach our little flower pot in this corner. So I'm going to put a mini dimensional on these tulip pieces. And then I'm going to use a regular dimensional down at the bottom of the pot. And I'm going to put another one right here. Okay, so let's do that one next. Let's pull these little 4 off first. And then we'll do these 2. All right, so let's attach our pot. This one's going to be off to this side, and this tulip's kind of hanging off a little. Not quite all the way, and we want it up. We're going to put our little rocks and pebbles there, so let's make some room for it. All right, so there's our tulip pot. Now the other pot is going to be tucked underneath, kind of like laying off to the side here. And so again, when we put these dimensionals on here, I'm going to put a small one at the back. And then I want to have room so that my shovel will fit. So I'm going to use the minis so that I have room to stick that shovel in there. We're going to lay it on its side, kind of tuck it in like so. And let's grab our little trowel, spade, whatever you guys call these. And we're going to put mini dimensional on the tip and one a little higher up. And then I'm going to use again this little piece here, and I'm just going to cut a little wide piece and put it up on the handle. All right. Pull the backs off, and we're going to tuck this in. We're doing really good, aren't we? I'm happy so far. All right, so this is going to come up like this. All right, and now we're going to put thanks for helping me grow. This is going to stick out a little bit. We'll glue that last. Let me clean that stamp. I forgot to do that. And of course I have all my stuff all over my table because things multiply, don't they, when you're stamping, right? All right, so let's go ahead and attach this. This is going to be attached with dimensionals, so I do want to make sure I have one at least in the corners. And then this is kind of a long run, so let's go ahead and put 2 there, and we'll put 2 in the middle. That looks good to me. Let's pull the backs off. And then we're going to glue our words after we've attached this onto our card. All right, so I have it stuck to my finger. Make sure my card opens from the right direction. We're going to get our scene ready, and we want to leave about the same border on the top, bottom, and the 2 sides. That looks pretty awesome to me. What do you guys think? Maybe a little to the right. Yeah, right there. All right, so now let's go ahead and glue this piece on. I'm not going to put glue all the way to the top because you can see a little piece of it is sticking off. So let's go ahead and grab that. Add that right there. Thanks for helping me grow. Such a cute card, guys. I'm in love with it. And when I have a thank you card, I don't like to put too much on the inside. I like to leave it mostly blank because thank you cards tend to have a lot of information inside, right? We write a lot of things on them, but we do definitely want to stamp at least the flower pot inside. I'm going to stamp one on its side, and then with my second layer, I'm going to stamp one right there, and I'm going to bring my brush in. And I'm going to add a little dirt, right? I can add a little dirt in this corner. Just like that. And that still gives me room to write whatever I want to say in there. Let me move my dirt around a little bit and not have it be such a halo. There we go. And that is the inside of our card. And that is the outside. So you can see that I got the tools from the Home and Garden set, and I die cut those out with the garden dies. And then I got my flower pot and my tulips from the flowering rain boots and the rain boot dies. So here are 2 bundles and our cards that we made. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me put this video together for you. I certainly have enjoyed putting it together. Please subscribe to my channel where you get lots more information, lots more inspiration. We can celebrate all these new stamp sets. Check out my playlists. I do have playlists of a bunch of projects with the same stamp sets. So if you're interested in that, do that. And thanks for being here with me. I greatly appreciate having you here. Thank you so much. And you guys have an awesome, awesome day. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a like, a comment, and definitely tell your friends about me. Thank you so much. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!